Over 100 flood victims in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape are due to move into temporary units provided by the King Sabata Dalindyebo municipality. This comes 2 months after the June floods that left many displaced. Maydene Farm was identified for the erection of the temporary shelters, while permanent housing is still being arranged. Newzroom Afrika's Liyema Vumisa joins us live for more. A bit of a relief, I would imagine, Liyema, for the families. Good afternoon.
Certainly, Bravo. I mean, when we visited the site ourselves, we were able to spot one or two or a few of those flood victims who also went there on their own accord, obviously to try and just assess and monitor the progress of those erection of temporary residential units, which we understand, according to the King Sabata Dalindyebo municipality, today by 3 p.m. was the word we got that the displaced flood victims will in fact start to be ushered in those TRUs. Now, just moments ago, Bravo, we did in fact, be there. We were there at those TRUs, and there was a bit of hype of activity there as far as the construction is concerned. What we were able to gather then is that there seems to still be a bit of construction ongoing, even though there are some, of those units which have since been completed. Now, we understand that by 3 p.m. was the actual time that we were given by the King Sabata Dalindyebo local municipality with regards to, ushering in those flood victims. But just upon probing further, I was then told that the Executive Council of the municipality is still locked in a meeting with some of the municipality senior management officials. As far as logistics are concerned, of course, they're discussing matters pertaining to that. But certainly, what I think may be of paramount, importance to some of those discussions pertains to actually the services that are going to be included in those TRUs. When my colleague and I were looking at some of them, we were able to spot that, yes, there is, light bulbs, there is boxes for electricity, but it seems as though the electricians were still trying to install those today itself, alongside, the showers that we were able to notice and also spot there at those TRUs. But certainly, they too still do not have any running water. But as far as the taps are concerned, they've already been installed outside the premises of those TRUs. So I imagine then that must be the reason why there seems to be a bit of delay as far as ushering in those flood victims is concerned. Meanwhile, where you find us right now, Bravo, is in fact at one of those community halls that continue to house some of those displaced flood victims. Now, in this particular hall, over 86 people still reside here, with most of them, of course, understanding the daily lives that they live, are, trying to fend for themselves in town. But certainly there's over 86 of them that still, are staying here in this community hall in Northcrest, right here in Mthatha. Now, what we know is that the sentiment from all of these flood victims seems to be a matter of urgency, that they want to be relocated so that they can be able to rebuild. Meanwhile, the municipality itself is in fact assuring those flood victims that there is progress that has been made. Now, we understand that over 400 of those temporary residential units will be erected by the end of September. That is the commitment that has since been made. Now, we were told that by 3:30, over 100 of them should have been, accommodated at the 100 already, finished or completed TRU. So certainly, Bravo, we are going to keep, looking at that hour and monitoring whether or not the municipality will in fact keep to its promise of, ensuring that some of these displaced flood victims will in fact be accommodated.
Hopefully they will indeed. Liyema Vumisa with that update live from Mthatha in the Eastern Cape.